Okay, for you.
Yeah.
Is it the same for everyone?
Yeah, yes, Nishant. Same.
Okay.
The challenge was the default directory, the region was India. So the license, whenever we type, right, so the address doesn't take it. So that is the reason we had to create a different tenant and then activate the license
Correct.
there.
See, that's why very simple. No, all my lab guides in all these days. See, for US customers, no, they will give many things for free. For India, PAN card will
Yeah.
be there, taxation number will be there, GST number will be there, 100 extra things will be there for activating trials. US and all this is not there. For some countries, you don't need to enter PIN code also. For example, Bahrain, when I select, no need to enter PIN code also. Blindly, you just select, it will work. So that's always better to choose some country where you don't have all these things. Anyway. Okay, cool. Um, 1 second. Yes, you're there.
Yeah, yes, Nishant.
Yeah, log into admin at the rate race 0365. No,
Yeah,
log into that and share your screen.
sure. Just a minute, logging in.
Yeah. So today I'll be doing some labs. I want you to sit relaxedly, understand what I'm doing, and then whenever you are having time, I want you to repeat them. Slowly sit back and activate one license by one license, one license by one license, and then ensure that you are doing the activities. Okay. So I'll tell you some tips. Now ensure that you follow that. I just done some changes for yesterday. Our friend has given me his credentials, Shreyas. So I just done some settings for him. Scroll down, Shreyas, on the left side. Okay, just go to portal.azure.com. Just go to left side licenses. Assign endpoint license also, no? To admin. Good, good. That's it. Just go to security and reload the page. This doesn't have a subscription. Yeah. Okay. I'll tell you one tip. Just understand that tip. Everything will work. Fine. Okay. Anyway, that's it. I'll share my screen shares. Thank you. Yesterday, you remember, I have shared this link. Did you get a chance to go through this link?
Yeah.
Yes. What is this link telling? Tell me.
Activate Defender point
No, no.
one.
Tell me what is this telling step by step.
I mean, go to the account where you have Azure Pass.
That means in whichever account you have Azure Pass subscription with credits. Now, did you all log into an account that has Azure Pass subscription right now?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. How do you verify whether you have exactly logged into Azure Pass subscription? Very simple. Go to Azure Pass balance. If you search Azure Pass balance, you will get to know that are you exactly in the directory in which you have money or not. Do you see I have $50 credit? I have $50 credit. So this gives me confidence that I am in the right directory. I have logged into the right directory. Making sense? Okay. First step is completed. Then second step, activate the following licenses. That means I should go to Active Directory and check those licenses are there or not. See, E5, Defender for Endpoint, and Office 365. Did I assign the licenses? Yes. Excellent. So this three is done. So because in my Reva 9th July 2022 directory, I have money. In that directory, I have activated three licenses. And then if you see here, oh, this came half only. So if not activated, then you can go ahead and activate all the different licenses. I'm assuming that you know what you are doing. Okay. I have done this first class also, second class also. I'm just teaching this only. I don't want all of you to face an issue again coming up. Okay, that license is not activated, this license is not activated and all. Okay. In case if you have not activated, if you have practiced, now you know where to go and where to activate and which license. Clear? Okay. Are you on the same page with me? No. Whenever I give you break time, okay, in that break time, please verify this everything is there or not. You have to log into first Azure Pass subscription, wherever Azure Pass subscription is there. How do you know Azure Pass subscription? For example, when you go to this directory, ensure that directory is there and also check the balance and also ensure that Azure directory. How do you verify? You just go to virtual machines, just try to create a virtual machine. You will get to know whether Azure Pass is there or not. Clear? See, Reva 9th July 2022, Azure Pass subscription is there. Similarly, first log into a place where you have the subscription activated. Log into a place where the subscription is activated and then do the license activation now. Yeah. Now, any questions?
Sir, this is Shamir from CS07 batch.
Yeah,
We
Shamir.
have the subscription is Assure for students. Both are same, right?
Same. Azure Pass is sorry, they are same, but in mine it will show differently. Because I'm a trainer, right? So I don't activate the same sponsorship that you have.
For us, it is Assure for students. So
Yeah, Azure for students. Yeah, correct. It's for Azure for students, wherever the credit is there. Okay, clear? Are we good?
Yep.
And ask me if you have any questions.
Nishant, while we have this license enabled on the subscription, wherever we have subscription, does it have any impact later on the amount, on the subscription amount after the trial?
That subscription amount is free, no? That is given by Reva, right?
Yeah, but later, in case there are few are available for 30 days or 90 days, while we have 1 year validity for the subscription pass.
I'll tell
Beyond,
you, if you have to practice, the entire lab will not cost you less than $20. The entire lab that I'm teaching will not cost you more than $20 if you follow my instructions. Have you seen? There are people who have done full labs, repeated the labs, but they have not incurred more than $20. And there are people who left. That means they forgot that there are servers, they forgot that firewalls are there, they configured the firewalls and they left it. And obviously they got exhausted. Anyone, I know a couple of people here in the class who has done all the labs, not even consume $5. Do we have anyone like that?
Yeah, my previous
I
account.
consumed only $7.
See, they have done every lab. The thing is, for how much time you have left it, that matters. If you ignore it and then leave it there, obviously you will be charged. So for all of our labs that I am doing, it will consume less than $20. However, if you for your entire lab, we have given you $100. So I am expecting that we are on the same track. Yeah. Okay. Here, let me continue this. Okay. Do you guys have any questions before I jump in? Today is going to be a little tough, little different. So please ensure that If you have any doubts, just spit it out and ask me immediately. Okay, don't get confused. Yeah. You just observe it and then I'll complete the step-by-step activity. Now, last week I have shown you one demo. Did you guys practice the demo? I have shown you how to raise a phishing email, right? Did you guys practice it or not?
I created one simulation.
Sorry?
Yes.
Did you guys all practice it? Raise your hands, whoever has practiced it. I'll have a question. Okay. So why slowly hands are coming up? Only 7 people have practiced. You guys has to practice. There is no other go, guys. You need to practice for sure. Okay. Yeah. So let me go ahead and show you today a little more advanced one where you have to write a lot of queries. Yeah. You have to write a lot of queries. I'll be showing you something called as Custos query language. Anyway, when I do the hands-on, you will get to know. Okay. When I do the hands-on, you will get to know. First thing, to run Custos query language, typically Custos query language is run on Sentinel. What is a Sentinel? Sentinel is a SIM and SOR. Sentinel is a SIM and SOR. You remember I was telling you last class that Microsoft is changing its products now. Microsoft is changing its products. For example, see, there is something called as endpoint.microsoft.com. This portal was there before, but now they added everything here. Similarly, Exchange administration was there before. This was there before, Exchange admin center. Now they are removing that from here and they are going to add it back. Add it back to this. At this moment, they have given option, but it is opening in a different one. Like this, Microsoft is going to combine all of the portals regarding the security into one portal. That is security.microsoft.com. Cloud apps, it was a different portal before. Threat hunting was a different portal. Now, one of the most commonly done activity in every company is we all tell that, you need to do threat hunting and all. Now, what is threat hunting? Can anyone tell me what do you do? What do you mean by threat hunting?
Existing logs to be analyzed and find something is not there in
Okay,
our
that
budget.
means you will do threat hunting before the attack or after the attack?
Before.
It is both
Before
the ways.
this. So threat hunting is a proactive thing. For example, in this advanced threat hunting, I'm searching for security event. Now, observe, it is telling that there is a semantic error. Here also you will use something called as Custos query language. Okay, but here what is it telling? There is a semantic errors in your query. There are semantic errors in your query. That means this whatever you have given will not work out. Okay, fine, no problem. I'll remove it. But if you look at this query, when you are writing, there are already a list of databases that are maintained. You see, alert information, alert evidence, apps, identity information, sign-in events, beta, email events, device information, network information, process events information, file events. So there are multiple tables or multiple databases. For each of the activity, there is a different database. For each of the activity, there is a different database, and each database has a couple of tables, and each table has a lot of data that got stored. And a lot of parameters are stored. Now you cannot run parameters just like that. You cannot run any parameters just like that. There is a set of rules that we will follow. But before you even practice anything here, we will give you another console where you can go ahead and practice all of these steps. Okay, where we'll go ahead and practice all of these steps. First, what I will do, I will show you how to run queries. I'll show you how to run queries. And then I will show you how to activate that console. First, I'll show you how to run the query, and then I'll show you how to activate the console. You're with me? I'll share one link. If you open that link, automatically it will open the Custos query language bar. For example, at this moment, I'm in my admin page. At this moment, I'm in my admin page. Whichever page you are in, that doesn't matter. Whichever page you are in, you just need to log into one account. You just need to log into one of your accounts. Yes, you have logged into one of your accounts. You have a threat hunting page. Now, rather than writing threat hunting queries here, we will write a threat hunting queries in Sentinel. I'll go ahead and share one link to write Custos query language. Okay, I will not see, just not now. I will share the link later. First observe. I'll give you time and then you do it. Okay, friends. First, I will run a very simple command and then step by step we will go. I want you to look at the output keenly, okay? So if you look at, just observe the output.
Nishant, is this Gusto's language is case sensitive?
Yeah. They could have done a better job, no, by actually using SQL only. One language you could have learned and then all the job is done. Yeah, but right? Everyone want to show their way of doing it. So now, so what happens? First, we need to understand. Even in Sentinel, Sentinel cannot be activated just like that. Sentinel has a combination. How many of you remember that we have activated Sentinel in our cloud security class? Do you remember Sentinel we have activated?
Yes, sir.
We have activated, no? I know, I'm not sure whether
Yes.
you remember or not, but we have activated
Yes.
Sentinel. And did we integrate Sentinel with Workspace, Log Analytics Workspace? Yeah, on the last day we have integrated. So first, for your Azure Sentinel analysis to work, you need to have Log Analytics Workspace plus Sentinel. When you have both of them, then you will be able to write Sentinel analysis using Gusto's query language. So at this moment, I'm searching for this keyword called as security event. And you see all the security events that happened are shown. By default, the time range is 24 hours. I can go ahead and change the time. I can go ahead and change a lot of parameters, but at this moment, default time range is 24 hours and security events that happen. And you see the type of event is a security event. Now, what is this event telling? Let's understand. Let's take one event and dissect it. This event is telling that there is a domain controller. It's a machine, fully qualified domain name of the domain controller, dc10.na. whatever it is. Event source name is Microsoft Windows Security Auditing. This happened 12,000 times. Level 8 debugging. This is the event ID. An account was logged off. Source computer hash value, event hash value, time at which it is collected. Network type is a, login type is a network. Target account, target load ID, target username, target SID ID, and the resource that got activated. So under this subscription, under a resource group called as CH1 infra RG security, then Microsoft Compute virtual machines ch1/dcvm10. That was the name of the server. That was the name of the server which was accessed. Now you will get like this different types of events. Now you can change the log time zone to your local time. You can change the log time zone to your local time. For example, I just converted the time to my local time. All the logs will be now shown in my local time. In my local time.
Nishant, I have a question.
Yeah.
We are logged in as admin and it is showing tenant ID details.
No.
So is it like,
okay. You don't even have a domain controller in your network, right?
yes,
This is a dummy log. Not the logs happened in your network. You did not create even a single server in that admin. How can you have a domain controller and all? Correct, no?
I mean,
There is a
was it
log
like
base.
forest approach or something like that being followed
Sorry,
there?
sorry?
That was my issue. Is there any forest approach that is followed here? Something like that is my query.
Not the forest approach. It is just a domain controller that is there in the server. See, it has a VM, and in that VM, there is a domain controller installed.
Okay.
Look from that point of view. And then it will be
So
easy.
this has to be run in the default directories.
That's what I'm telling you. See, first of all, you did not create the infrastructure yet. Correct?
Yes.
Assume
Not
that
yet
you have
correct.
collected the logs. The assumption here is that you collected some logs and you are analyzing the logs here. Why I have given you a demo link is you don't have much infrastructure with you, right?
Right.
Assume that this is your infrastructure and work on it. Assume that this is your infrastructure. Don't assume that, okay, now I have to create a server and I have to generate. If you have to create a server, you have to generate a log. It will take 4 or 5 days. Then you will not be able to run 40, 50 queries.
So
You're getting me?
okay, my question is it like this logs indicate that it was run in a default AD, which can cover any of the tenants, or is it like inside a tenant only it has run?
Okay. So for this, I'll answer the question from the previous class. Did you attend the 4th class? You are from CS08 or 7?
08.
Okay, good. So on the last day of my cloud security class, did we do the lab of analytics workspace? Did you do the lab of log analytics workspace? As a part of the log analytics workspace, how did you scope your systems?
Yes.
Did you scope your systems telling that this system should report to this log analytics workspace? You have done it actually.
Yeah, I'll have to revisit.
Yeah. So that is where it is coming from. You decide how the data should come. That's what I was telling you, no? A Sentinel is a combination of log analytics workspace plus Sentinel. As a part of log analytics workspace, you will choose which system should report to which workspace. And in this workspace, whatever the systems that are reporting, all the logs will be here. This is the workspace name.
Okay.
But you guys have done this last week, no? Okay, let me reiterate it for everyone's benefit. 1 second. Did you guys do this lab? Do you remember that you have done this lab?
Yeah.
What is this lab telling? Tell me.
I think it uses log analytics to send logs or something.
You are creating a virtual machine, creating a log analytics workspace, enabling the log analytics virtual machine extension, collecting the virtual machine event and performance data, view and query the collected data. I'm not teaching this 4 because I already taught you this 4. I'm only teaching you advanced version of this.
This we done in last module, I think so. Right?
Yeah, correct. This is last module only. You remember I was telling you this module is an extension of last module. Did I tell you this?
Yeah.
This module is
Yes.
an extension of last module. So everything that you have done in the previous module, you will refer here. That's why your Active Directory that you are using was from the previous module. You're getting me? Guys, if you have queries, no, yeah, put it out. From the security, cloud security point of view, we are extending security engineering is an extension of cloud security, but from a little different perspective, different lab. There you are using Azure services. Now, in any cloud services are different. For example, Amazon doesn't have Office suite. They have something, but it is not that great as Office. That's why in the day one of the security engineering, I was talking, right? Security engineering is not only just one component. You have to look from many components, and one of the component in every enterprise is Office 365. You may be a Google Cloud guys. You may be using Google Cloud, but you are using Office 365 for your emails. You may be using AWS in your office, but you're using Office 365 in your office for mails. And you're using Windows systems, even though you're a AWS cloud user, but you still use Microsoft Office only, right? So for this class, I have taken Microsoft Office 365 Defender as the agenda because that is the most commonly used irrespective of your cloud provider. Irrespective of the cloud where you run in your infrastructure, you still use Office 365, and that's the most commonly used strategy. And this skill will help you to learn things so that you can go to any other cloud and work on it. I hope again it's clear. This is what you learned in the last class. I'm extending this task 5. I'm extending task number 5. In case if you have not done this, when I taught you in the last class, please go ahead and repeat this lab. In case if you don't remember me teaching you this, please go ahead and repeat this lab and go through the last class video. This will be done on the final day, for the fourth day of last module. It's already taught and you have also done the lab. That's what you have confirmed me, because I never force you to show me that whether you have done it or not. OK, assuming that you have done this. See, in the log analytics workspace, general section, click on logs. You will show welcome to log analysis window. In the query pane, all query columns, you can run a couple of options. Yeah. Now I'm extending this task number 5. Query and collect the data. This time I'm not going to collect performance data, but I'm going to collect security data. This time I'm not going to perform performance data, but I'm going to collect security event data. Any questions here? Okay. No, because for you, what is more important is writing advanced queries. That's why I took this as the first activity, because with fresh mind, I want you to learn some queries. I'll give you different type of queries. OK. So at this moment, assume that you have done all the log collection. You are assuming that the log collection is already done. How to do log collection? I have already taught you. I'll also teach once again if you want. Do you want me to teach how to do it once again? How to collect the logs? Sure. Anyway, that
Yes,
was
if
in
you
my
could.
mind that I'll show. Sorry.
It will be good, sir, if you could show it once again.
Okay, fine. So I have to repeat the previous lab. So then you have to hold on for the Custos query language. Okay. So that's why I always tell, please practice 2 times, 3 times and come. But yeah, you guys will never practice. You will never repeat the labs that I have shown or completed. Okay. Anyway, I'll go ahead and again start from scratch and enable the log analytics workspace. So where will you find the log analytics workspace? If you go here, search for log analytics workspace, create a log analytics workspace, choose your sponsorship, whatever the sponsorship it is. I'll just create a resource group and name of the resource group. Sorry, log analytics workspace. I'm choosing, as always, I always choose East US region. I'm choosing the same East US region. So what is my workspace name? Security log analytics demo is the workspace name. So let's wait for the workspace to be created. Do you remember any challenge that you have faced during this lab last time? See, creating a log analytics workspace is easy. Then generating the logs is also important, no? You cannot say, okay, I'll generate the log analytics workspace, but where will you get the logs from? You have to get the logs or not? Without logs, how will you do the analysis? So then where will you get your logs? That means you need to create infrastructure, no? Correct. Without creating infrastructure, you cannot do anything, right?
Yeah, we need to create at least some VM and we need to stress
we need to
the
create VM. We need to stress the VM. We need to put a virus on that VM to generate a log, and that log you have to analyze. Again, the same cycle I have to repeat. Okay. Anyway, go to the resource. I'll do it very fastly. I will leave it to you for at home to work on it. Okay. I'll not repeat the same thing that I have done it multiple times. Now I have created a simple log analytics workspace. Now I will enable Defender on it. I will enable Defender. Okay, I can go to dash. I'll enable Microsoft Defender for cloud. Look at it. I'm enabling my Defender for this sponsorship. I'm enabling this Defender. Did you see something like this before? In your previous lab, did you see something like this?
Yes.
Have you somewhere are you remembering that, oh, this is something which we have done before?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we enable.
When did you do this?
During that lab,
Did you do this? Last lab, Microsoft Defender for cloud. Did you do this all demo? I'm not sure how many of you have practiced. If you could have practiced my last class, it could have been easy for you. See, I'm doing the same activity, no? I have to repeat the same activity. Anyway.
Yeah, we've done this, Nishant.
Okay, cool. Someone remembers, that's good. Okay, now I need to click on, you need to choose your subscription and how many resources are there in my subscription? 0 resources, and for each resource, the cost is given. Okay, click on upgrade. Click on upgrade. Okay. If you have already activated, you will not see this option. If you have already activated, you will not see the upgrade option. So it will take 1 or 2 minutes for my trial to activate. Microsoft Defender for Cloud, I have to activate it so that this Microsoft Defender for Cloud will gather the logs and push all the logs to my log analytics workspace that I have created. What is more important is if you don't want to get charged for this. See, look at for servers, they are charging app services, they are charging. If you delete these resources, no, if you delete all the resource groups, that's it. You will not be charged. Is it not activated? Yeah, it has activated. Let me just check that button is disabled or not. I'll just reload the page. See, install agents. Now I click on install agents. What will happen? On all the infrastructure that is there, an agent will get installed. Do you all remember this? The agent installation?
Yes, sir.
So in the getting started section, if it is a non-Azure server, you can add non-Azure servers also into Microsoft Defender for Cloud. That means if a server is sitting in AWS, you can add that here. If you want your AWS and GCP to be integrated, you can integrate that here also. But at this moment, our scope is only Azure. So at this moment, do I have any infrastructure created in my Azure? See, do I have any virtual machine? I don't have any virtual machine. Do you think it will generate any logs when I don't have a virtual machines?
No, sir.
Nothing.
Not
It will not show you anything. No. Look at the inventory. We don't have any inventory. I don't have anything. Because it's a very fresh machine. Go to overview. Oh, sorry. Getting started. Install agents. Now, if you see, if a VM already have either SOM or OMS agent installed locally, the log analytics agent will still be installed and connected to the configured workspace. But I don't even have a single VM to go ahead and create. I will do that. I will go ahead and create everything step by step. Go to environment settings. Under the Azure sponsorship, see, under the Azure sponsorship, you have the security and log analytics demo. Did I choose it? Did I integrate both of them? I never integrated, right? I just activated Defender for Cloud. That's it. Do you remember? Did I integrate both of them? No. I just created log analytics workspace separately. But when I come to Defender, Defender will automatically read all the workspaces, all the analytics workspaces that are under the Azure Pass sponsorship. And you can go edit the settings. Now you can go ahead and see how your Defender should collect the logs, how your Defender should collect the logs. If you see here, Microsoft Defender for security posture management, for servers and SQL Server on machines. Now tell me, do you want to enable it by default or not? If you enable it, all the data from all the servers will be captured automatically and pushed to this workspace. Push to this workspace. Which server to which workspace? When I create the server, you will get to know. Making sense?
Nishant, can we create multiple workspaces to
Absolutely.
have
N number of
and
workspaces you can create, and each workspace can be monitored, or each workspace you can enable on a different VM set.
right.
But the problem is when you have all workspaces distributed across multiple, one Azure Sentinel works with one Azure Sentinel instance works with one analytics workspace only.
So we
If you
have
are a
to create
service provider,
sequentially.
no, rather than that, you choose only one workspace and push every workspace for that subscription. Created a subscription level for one subscription, one workspace. That makes sense. Ideally, we create all workspaces, sorry, one workspace for all namespace, all subscriptions, so that all the logs are collected under one. So that correlation is easy.
Right.
So this will take time. This will take 3 to 5 minutes for this to tell me that, yes, boss, I am activating your Defender on every environment. That is on every server that gets created, on every SQL server on a machine that gets created, and security posture management will get enabled. But look at that, $15 per month. That means if the server is running, then only the charges. If the server itself is not there, no charges. Okay, it's enabled. Enable all. Anyway, that's what we have done manually. Now the data collection. Defender plan is activated. Let's look at data collection options that are available. So now you see, store additional raw data, Windows security events, all Windows events and app locker events, a standard set of events and auditing purpose, minimal, a small set of events, none, no security or app locker events. Tell me which one is important for you. You as an organization, which is important for you? Now, let
It
me
will
show
be
you.
all events.
If you select none, please observe, if you select none, don't expect security events to be shown here. See, there is a security event, no? This security event, if you have disabled it, and if you are running the log analysis, don't expect that to be shown here because you have never enabled it, no? You have never enabled it. Don't expect here. Okay. Similarly, do you see Windows App Locker? Do you see Windows App Locker? If you have disabled it here, you will never see any log here. So if I'm getting this log and if you're not getting that log, that means you have not enabled anything. If you have enabled, it will show you all the logs. Because I did not enable, it will not show you. So don't get confused or don't be worried that okay, why is it not showing? Why my different log analytics workspace is not showing? Because I did not enable the configuration, boss. Okay, I select all the events. This is a cost. This comes with cost. See, charges will apply for all settings other than none. Obviously, if you are using Microsoft, you are paying for everything that you use. Yeah. This will capture all Windows security and app locker events. Any questions?
So the charges would be different for all events, common,
Absolutely.
minimal. Right.
Yes, yes, correct.
So is this what SIEM teams would be looking into?
Yes, this is what SIEM is. You enable all the events and keep it ready. It's like, when you purchase a SIM, any SIM tool, you have your infrastructure, no? You have to onboard your infrastructure into the SIM, right? As a part of the onboarding your infrastructure into the SIM, you will do a couple of configurations. That is the same configuration we are doing it here. So we are making the server side ready. Now we will make the client side in few minutes.
So every corporate would be pushing in some agent will be installed in the laptops and desktops.
Correct, correct. Some or other agent will be there. Either it will be agent method or it's agent based or agentless based. But they have to do it. Otherwise, how will you collect all the logs?
Right.
Now we are not looking now in the SIM. There is a server part and a client part. No, what I am showing you is the server part. Client part I did not come yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got it. I understood that part. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go back to the Defender settings. You can do workflow automation also, but we are not coming to that. But look at this. Integrated Microsoft Defender for cloud alerts into SIM for central monitoring. Now, if you want third-party service like Splunk, okay, what you need to do is you need to integrate a SIM, like all the data from Microsoft servers, all the data from Microsoft Defender for servers will go to monitoring. All the data from monitoring will go to Event Hub. And this Event Hub will stream the data to any SIM that you like. Any SIM that you like, it will stream it. For example, if you say that Nishant, I don't want to use Microsoft Sentinel. I don't want to use Microsoft Sentinel for SIM or SOAR. I want to go with Logarithm. Can I push all the logs from Azure Cloud to Logarithm? Yes, you can do that. So you configure the Event Hub and Event Hub will push the logs to the SIM whatever you like. Whatever the SIM you like, it will push the data to there. But the only thing is that new SIM, whichever you say, log analytics, logarithm, Splunk, QRadar, ArcSight, whatever the SIMS or tool it is, that SIMS or tool should have an API. So that this guy can stream all the logs to that API. Today, all of the SIMs comes with most of the advanced SIMs comes with API enabled. So you can just integrate that API with this API and that's it. All the logs will be flown into that. So rather than doing the analysis here, you will do the analysis in your own SIM tool that you like. In the correlation. That is one way. The other way is pushing all the logs from your data center directly here. Pushing all the logs from your data center and directly here. That is also a different way. Clear? Which method is easy? Pushing all the logs from here to an existing SIM or pulling all the data from existing servers to the cloud. Which is the good method? Which method do you think it is a good method? You can give positive things, you can give negative things also, no problem.
I believe the cost would be the differentiator. Like, will it involve the cost when we are pushing the data
Absolutely.
to external SIM?
Absolutely. Because
Right.
output bound will be there, no?
Yep.
Outbound traffic will be there, though there is a traffic cost for it. And obviously, when you're running event hub, no, event hub and all that consumes for the number of requests that you send. Either way, there is a cost for sure.
Right. Then total depends over the business spread, how your infra is staged. So it depends because you cannot have every time everything on cloud, right?
Okay.
So then you need to stream the logs from those infra elements also. And I believe then that external SIM might be utilized. Or you
Absolutely,
can
there is nothing
inflow,
wrong.
or you can inflow that log which is in your on-prem kind of thing into the cloud and then do the analysis.
Absolutely.
Both
Now,
way it is possible.
as an architect, when someone asks you, is it possible? Your answer should be yes, and this is how it is done. Correct, no, because someone will ask you, no, you learned Azure security. Can I pull the logs from my regular data center to Azure and then run on top of it? Because I have a E5 license with me for my enterprise, and we are already using some of the Office 365 services. Does it make sense? It makes sense because you already paid license fee. You're just underutilizing your features. That's it. Yeah. Good. Now, Nishant, what if I have a third-party systems which is sitting in my data center? Do we have anything in Azure which can do that job? Azure has one feature called as Arc. Do you see? Create a new Arc, Azure Arc virtual machine. If you have, just see that there is something called as Arc virtual machine. Now, what is this Arc virtual machine? If you have a ESXi, you know ESXi, right? ESXi is a virtualization software that runs on your data center. ESXi is a virtualization software that runs on your data center. And if you want to connect your existing VMware vCenter, you can directly connect. If you have a HCI cluster from Azure, you can connect. If you have a regular SCVMM instance, you can connect using Arc. It's called as Azure Arc. Okay, you can create Azure Arc virtual machines. That is one way. Or you can search for Azure Arc. And if you go to server section, and you see, you can add a server. You can add a server directly from your data center. I'll show you a simple demo. See here, there is a generate script. No, I want to add a single server. Now, before you connect your server to Azure Arc, here are the things that you need to ensure. To identify and connect to the server, HTTPS access to the Azure services. The server requires access to port 443 and a set of outbound rules. That means my server. So let me show you, let me draw it in the form of a picture so that you can visualize it. Okay. See, this black line is the draw. This is cloud. This is your data center. Okay. On the data center, you have a server. Now tell me, in your data center, will you have a firewall which is protecting and any traffic that is going outside? Do you have a firewall rules enabled? Any traffic that is going outside, do you have a firewall rules enabled?
Yes, Nishant.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you put a control that, okay, which server has to talk to which systems? And that's what it is telling. Hey boss, before you onboard anything, ensure that HTTPS access to the server URLs. That means by default on 443, outbound rule should be enabled on your corporate firewall. Okay, for the agent to work properly. Okay, good. Onboarding will require local administration permissions on the server. Obviously, no, when you want to run a script on this, you need to run as admin, correct? So local admin privileges are required. Excellent. Then connectivity method. You can connect to the internet over a public endpoint through a proxy server or a private endpoint. And Azure Arc private link scope is required. Now, if you want to create a public endpoint in Azure Arc and then connect it, it's okay. If you want to create a private endpoint and then connect it, is also fine. What is the benefit of private endpoint?
Not publishing
It goes
the
over,
URL on the internet.
yeah, the URL will not be published on the internet. Now, whichever method you like, you can go for it based on how comfort you are. But at this moment, I'll go with public endpoint. Okay, I'll just we have created a resource group. East US. You remember in all my labs, I always choose East US, one region only for everything that I do, so that I have proper things in place. Okay. Now I'm going for public endpoint. What is my operating system on the data center? Windows public endpoint. Now it's asking you if you want to give some data center. See, every one of you have data center, no? You can go ahead and give these labels. This will help you to go ahead and say, boss, I want to know the logs of this specific data center. You will get to know. Custom tags can be created here. Are you with me? Click next. Now it is asking you register your subscription before connecting your servers to Azure Arc. Select the button or follow the link to the subscription. Clear? So registration request successful. Now, before I do anything, let me ensure that the registration is successful. And this is the script that I need to run. This is the script that I need to run. On which machine? On whichever machine I want to onboard. Whichever machine I want to onboard. Now, have you seen a similar screen on day one? But not in Azure. But did you see it here? Onboard, did you onboard a virtual machine into Office 365 Defender last time? Do you remember? I did something like that.
No.
No? Okay, let's see. I'll show you one. Do you remember this? Do you guys remember something we have done on day one of security engineering? I have onboarded a device this method. Anyway, I'll show you different methods in each class so that you get to know everything. So please visit the first class video. Okay, please visit the first class video. I have done this. Okay, I'll go to the previous screen. Now I download the script. Now, where should I put the script? On the server which I need to onboard.
So this activity is independent of log analytics aspect, right? So is this how the hybrid cloud environment is maintained?
Correct. True. In my last demo here, in my last demo, I have shown you how to run a server integrated tightly into Azure. Here I am showing you how to run a server not integrated into Azure. But the problem is here I don't have a data center, no? I need a VM, right? See, I need a VM to be created, no? How will you create a VM? Tell me. I'll go to my Azure and I'll create a simple VM. I'll create a very simple VM. Bye, guys. Now you understood, huh? I'm onboarding a VM onto the Azure. I'm onboarding a VM onto the Azure to collect the logs. Correct? Now I need to run an agent. No. First of all, I should have a server to collect. So let me create a server.
For experiment purposes, can we also run this for our local laptops? That is our personal laptops.
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
we?
I'll give you an agent. Yeah, I'll give you an agent. You can do that. I'll just show you that also. Just because you asked me, I'll show you that. You can onboard that. Okay, let me show you. 1 second. Add a non-Azure server, no? Click on configure. See, it's asking to onboard servers for Defender, create a new workspace in which to store the data or use one of the workspaces. Now, do you want to use one of the workspaces? You may only see workspace in subscription for which you have permission. To get tenant-wide visibility, follow the instructions. If applicable, select the upgrade to start a 30-day trial for Defender for Cloud. Add servers to view the instructions on how to install Log Analytics agent. And after onboarding, you can monitor the machines under the inventory section. So, but I need to upgrade this. Yeah. Security analytics space successfully upgraded. Now you see, now I can add n number of servers. Okay, now zero Windows computers connected. Download an agent for your operating system, then install and configure it using the keys for your workspace. You will need the workspace ID and key to install the agent. This is a workspace ID, primary key and secondary key. Now what I should do? I should give you an agent. Tell me, is your Windows 64-bit or what type of it is?
64-bit.
64-bit, no? I will go ahead and download the 64-bit version. Okay. Now, where should I run this? You should run this in your computers. How many of you are ready to run it on your computer?
Yeah, I can try.
You can try? Okay.
Yeah.
Now what I should do is I should give you this. How will I give you? I should use a method to give you, no? 1 second.
Storage link from Blob or that approach?
It will take time. Yeah, but that also I can do immediately, or I can use vTransfer. I sent you one link, okay? I sent you one link, and but you have to share your screen to me, yeah, so that I can see what are you doing exactly. There are two ways. There are two ways of onboarding. One is with a script, the other one is with the exe file. Okay. Yeah, you can share your screen. Whoever is trying it out, just speak loudly and then share the screen.
Yeah, this is limited to Windows and Linux.
Linux, correct, correct. At this moment, Macintosh is not supported here.
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah, please. No, I did not see the screen yet. Yeah, now I can see the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So minimize everything and download the agent that I have given you.
You have shared it over chat, is it?
Yeah, I have shared it on the Teams chat. Yeah, that vTransfer link is there, no?
This
Yeah,
one, right?
click on the vTransfer link. Correct. Yeah, click accept. I agree. No, download that files. There will be two files not important for you. Two files. One file is important out of that. Yeah, download it. Just put it in downloads. That's okay. Not an important file. After this, you will disconnect the agent wherever you want. Up to you. Unzip it. Run as administrator after downloading it. Okay.
So this agent will be having a pre-configured IP addresses where to cache, where to.
Yeah, it will have the agent is created based on my configuration.
Okay.
It will exactly point to me only. Okay, now, meanwhile, go to my chat. This one, Teams chat.
Okay.
Yeah, go to Teams chat and copy those workspace ID and primary key. Copy independently. Don't copy everything together. Just copy independently, put it in a notepad and keep it ready, because when you're running the agent, no, your agent need this information. If any one of you want to onboard your system also, you can onboard. Same process. Nothing different. So name them as the second one is the primary key. The first one is the workspace ID. Yeah. Okay, good. Now you have configured the portal. No, you can just go to that. You have downloaded the file. No, just go there. Yeah, first, unzip it. Unzip your folder. Not like that. Just go to desktop, right click, unzip the folder. And whatever you want to do, do in that folder. The next folder. Yeah. Now right click as run as administrator. Perfect. So we are waiting for the pop-up to appear. Yeah. Next. Next. Yeah, now wait. Here you see there are two options. One is connect the agent to Azure Log Analytics workspace. Or there is another option, connect the agent to System Center Operations Manager. At this moment, we have to connect our agent to OMS. That is Log Analytics workspace. That is what our demo, right? So select the connect
So
to
what will be the difference between these two? Like what will the system center
SCCM.
operate?
See, this is an old method. System Center Operations is an old one.
Okay.
Now this Log Analytics workspace is a new one. Even that is going to get deprecated. This will get deprecated and directly it will onboard to Azure in the next version. In the next 2 years, these two options will get deprecated and you will see every agent directly reports to Sentinel. That is the architectural change that Azure is bringing.
Okay, so now the logging
Earlier,
workspace will be removed completely, is it? I mean, in between the
yeah,
log
in the
workspace.
future, in the future,
Okay,
like
future.
in the next 2 years, you will see that Log Analytics workspace will be removed fully. Fully removed means all the new projects we will do directly on Sentinel, but old projects will still be running there. Microsoft,
Okay.
you know, right? Because see, System Center Operations was there 6 years before. Now they cannot deprecate it immediately. Why? Maybe there was a customer who has onboarded 10,000 machines and he's still monitoring that. He cannot deprecate it in the new agents. So he will still running it. The options will be there, but you will not use it. You're with me, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Click on connect the agent to Log Analytics workspace. Tick. Yeah, next. Now it is asking you the workspace ID in the primary key. Yeah. Yeah, this one, Azure Cloud, just drop down box is there. No, show me the drop down box. Yeah, Azure Commercial. Yeah. So you don't have any proxy, no, in your organization, or you don't have any proxy through which you are going, right? Sri Krishna?
Yeah, no proxy.
Because if you have a proxy, then you have to tell to your agent that via which proxy you need to go and the proxy credentials also, because without proxy, you may not have you. For example, if you have a forward proxy or a reverse proxy or a transparent proxy, we don't know in your network. If it is there, you have to configure it. In your case, you are telling it's not there. Click on next. Now use Microsoft Update when I check for updates, or I don't want to use Microsoft Update. Now, when you do Microsoft Update, that agent, if there is a new version of the agent, it will get updated. Yeah.
Okay, so
you can just you're only doing for demo, no?
Right.
That's okay. Next. Install.
So will the local system not detect this as a monitoring agent as some kind of some threat or something like that, or Microsoft
No, because
internally
it's an
has
agent, no? See, all Microsoft products, it will never say that it's a virus or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, click on finish. Yeah, now from your agent side, you have finished it. Minimize everything. No? I want to see in the tray. In the tray, is it showing you to you or not? An agent running. You don't see that agent running. Okay, no worries. Now what happens is, now you have onboarded the system. Now I should go to the logs and see in the inventory whether it is available or not.
Okay.
Okay. Let me show you now my screen.
Yeah.
It will take easily 5 minutes for onboarding to complete. Now, this is my Microsoft Defender for Cloud, no? You all see my Microsoft Defender for Cloud?
Yes.
If you go to inventory section, I should see that machine reporting here. It would take easily 5 minutes for the machine to report. Assuming that the service has already started, it should take 5 minutes. Now, in the Microsoft Defender for Cloud, this is a query, open query. you can write queries here. Okay. You can write queries here. I'm just waiting for the inventory to appear here.
இந்தியாவோட மிகப்பெரிய கம்பெனி உங்களுக்கு ட்ரைனிங் தருது, சப்போர்ட்டும் எல்ஐசி ஏஜென்ட்ஸ்ல ஒருத்தர்.
Muthu, you are not on mute. So I'm just waiting for the resource to appear here. Meanwhile, while he has onboarded his system, no, I'll onboard one more system. I'll onboard one more system. So I'll have two machines. So meanwhile, I'll create one simple machine because I don't want to onboard my this one. So I'll create a dummy system here. You can onboard your machine also, Nishant's PC. I'm choosing 16 GB, but I'll delete it immediately, so I don't need that. I have shown you one method of onboarding, right? I'll show you a different method of onboarding now. The multiple methods that you can use to achieve all this stuff. I'll be charged like 27 rupees per hour, but we will not run more time. This one. So if I have to onboard using Arc, the script can also be onboarded on. This script can also onboard multiple servers. Note that these servers will be assigned to the same subscription, resource group, and Azure region. You need to run the script as a local administrator on the server. Download the agent from the Microsoft Download Center, install the agent on the server, and create the Azure Arc enabled server resources to associate with the target. But where is my inventory? Did it populate? Okay, let me run this new agent. Let my server get created. Let me see whether my server reports or not. I'm just waiting for my VM to get created. Yeah, server is created. Nishant's PC server. I'll just log into my server. Or you can assume that it's my PC. This is my server. Whatever Sri Krishna is doing, has done, I am also doing the same. I'm waiting for the agent to download. After the agent is downloaded, I need to copy the primary key. So how will I go back and see the primary key? Tell me. Where will I find that option, guys? Tell me. Why is it showing upgrade? It's already upgraded, no? See, one VMs and servers is shown. Okay, if it cannot be seen here, just go to inventory. It's not showing. I'll just go to log analytics workspace. Okay. Yeah. See, one Windows computer is connected. See, this is the workspace ID. No, I'll go first. I will run that, and two pieces will be onboarded now. Show in folder. Right click. Run as administrator. Workspace ID, copy, paste, primary key, copy, paste, next. Because this is my machine, if I screw up also, it's a matter of deletion. I cannot screw up your machine. So it will get onboarded. And I should see two machines now reporting. So at this moment, only one system is connected. Now, just observe. If I click on this, go to logs, no? Do you see the logs? Now, do you see? Is this your desktop? Is this the name of your desktop? Sri Krishna?
Yeah.
So now the logs are coming from your desktop. Security Center for SQL Vulnerability Assessment, SQL Advanced Threat Protection. Solutions are there. Now, see remote IP longitude and latitude. Remote IP PC is India. computer environment is a non-Azure environment. So these are heartbeats that are there. Now, if you observe from this security agent management, do you see? I should see 2 events now. Oh, now three computers got onboarded. That means one of our friends could have onboarded one of the machines. Yeah, who onboarded it?
I did, Nishant.
Okay, good. Now I can add a custom log filters, but I should also see. So it's actually showing you this because I selected East US as the region. I have to select everything, everything, everything. Yeah. Yeah. Where is my inventory? I cannot see the inventory button here. No problem.
Nishant, if the SCIM is in East US and if this laptop is in India, will there
Doesn't
be any
matter.
regional
Because
laws which
it's not a no, it's not a what do you call? It doesn't worry about the region when it is a data center.
I mean, will the local laws make it to force them to send the data through some server and then to the East US server where the Azure is
Nothing
running?
like that. Nothing like that. Yeah. So now you see here, 2 machines got registered. Before it was not showing, Now you see here, 2 desktops got onboarded. Both of them are treated as on-premises machine. So whose desktop is K0925 CN?
Mine is
925 CN.
K2F6. K2F6 is mine. I think K0 is your Windows
K2F6.
server. Yeah.
No, Devinder, how about yours? I can look at the policy definition that is applied. Endpoint protection, you see, endpoint protection should be installed on your machines. Okay, we'll install later, not now. I need to wait for 3 machines to get onboarded then. It is not showing here. Let me wait for 3 machines to come here. Anyway, I can see the other places also. I can see it in log analytics workspace.
If we onboard machines and leave it like that, will it be charged?
Cloud side, it is charged. On your server side, it will never charged because the logs will be pushed here, no? Yep. So anyway, look at this. I have 3 Windows servers logged. You see, there is a click on go to logs. Click on go to logs. You see logs for my security analytics demo. And this is where I'm going to write the Custos query language. You're getting me? Oh, my Nishant PC also got onboarded. No, all the 3 machines got onboarded. It took time, yes, but all of them got onboarded. You see that 3 machines got onboarded and the logs are here. Now this is where I'm going to start writing. This and all is just onboarding a system. Whatever you have done is just onboarding a system, not writing a Custos. Now we will write a Custos query language. What I will do, I'll remove this. I'll search for security events in the last 24 hours. And if any security event happened or not, let me see. Now, do you see? There are a couple of security events that happen on your machines. Morning, someone asked me, no, can you show us a demo, like how to see? Same. What I have done is I've assumed that you have already onboarded devices and I have shown you this. Same thing, no? It's the same thing. Security event, security event. I just directly given you the URL which has already the demo data loaded so that you can practice at home. You don't need to onboard the system. You don't need to spend time in onboarding the system. Are you with me?
So once the system is onboarded, even then it is just about reading the logs, but not deploying any policies to the system, is it? Or
Not
even
yet,
that
not
can
yet.
be done?
Yeah, that is possible. But at this moment, our scope is only to run the queries, not to do incident response.
Okay. Okay.
At this moment. Okay. Any questions?
All these queried results, they need not be a real incident, right? Or they can be, some of them can be false. I mean, most of them could be false positives, right?
It can be. It can be. Now that all depends upon what type of query you are writing.
It's just an event, that's all. Like login also an event like that, right?
Yeah, it's an event, log analysis only. For example, on this, I will install a TOR. Is it an event? Is it an event? But is it a good event, bad event?
Risky event.
Yeah, something is happening in the background. Some options are there. See in which language it is coming. Some language is coming. That means where is my exit point in TOR? See on a 16 GB server, if this is the condition, what to do? I don't know what to select also on this language. See, your system has been detected unusual traffic. Your computer or network may be sending automated queries to protect our users. We cannot process your request right now. Okay, boss, that's okay. Google is blocking us. Google is assuming that I'm coming from a wrong location, blah, 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 more number of requests and all. But anyway, that's what we also need. Now, something happened now. Now you need to do log analysis. Now you guys have to do log analysis. Yeah. So now how do you filter TOR? TOR installation happened. Now how do you know TOR is done? Did TOR do something? We need to search, no? We need to search or not? Now we need to write a query. How will you write a query? Is what we are going to learn in this class. Are you with me?
Yes.
Any questions? Okay, for whatever we have done. Nishant, where is the documentation? Do you see? enable Microsoft Defender for cloud. Step 1, access to portal and set the subscription. Second, create a log analytics workspace. Third, enable Microsoft Defender for cloud. Fourth option, I have given you two methods. First method is to use Arc to onboard a on-premise server. If you want to follow task number 4 method, up to you when you do lab at your home. And then task 5. If you want to protect if you want to go for a on-prem server, you can go for an on-prem server. And this is what we have done. Did we do this? Did we download the agent? Did we select the agent? Did we enter the primary key and all? So now you have the documentation ready for whatever I have done. Don't get confused. It is easy to get confused. So please don't get confused. Yeah. Now, what is the next activity? Next activity is running the Microsoft Custo language. But before I run this, I'll take a break. In the break time, anyway, logs will be getting generated. And then I'll show you how to fetch these logs using Custo query. The Custo queries are here. And first I will show you demo and then I'll give you a chance to work on it. Okay. Are you with me?
Yeah. Nishant, can I get a 32? What is that?
32-bit version agent.
Yeah. I was trying to upload it. Trying to install it, but I couldn't. So I can upload my system and give you some malware into that.
No problem, but you have a malware window, malware with you that you don't want to corrupt your machine. Huh? I don't want you to corrupt your machine.
Test system. It's a test system, so no need to worry on that.
Sure. Huh?
Yeah. It's a test system, and which doesn't have direct link to my primary one. It's a VM.
Up to you. Ultimately, you should not feel bad after the implementation.
No, I'll just delete the system. That's all.
No problem. I'll upload the file and I'll give you the file.
Sure.
Is it possible to pause or pause that agent sometime, Nishant?
No, it's not like that. You cannot pause the agent because it's a service. You need to stop the service. Yeah, this one is i386. Huh? i386 is 32-bit. I have shared it now. No, I have shared a new link that is 32-bit.
I'm just copying it 1 minute.
And you know the workspace ID and all that is there in the chat box. Yeah, then you can onboard your machine there. Okay, guys, are you good? Any doubts? I'm being a little slow just to ensure that everyone is on the same page. Huh? Okay. Any questions, queries? Okay, what we will do, we will take a very quick break for 15 minutes and come back from the break and continue. Okay. Sure. Yeah, I'll see you there. I'll see you in 15 minutes, guys. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. So now I also see there are 4 Windows logs that are available. Windows agents. 1 second. Okay. Now, if you go to the log section, now you see log management, no? Now, at this moment, you have heartbeat table, and in that table, you have a couple of rows. Similarly, you have security and audit. Then you have a table called as protection status. And then you have a query. So now these are your columns and rows. You can assume that in a SQL query, you know, columns and rows, no? You can assume that. So for example, security event. What did I do now? When I typed security event, do you see some of these values here? Account type, activity, authentication level, authentication package name, authentication server. So all the entire table is displayed here. All the entire table that is shown here with the default security event is displayed here. Are you with me? You're able to create, no? Things. Similarly, for example, update summary. What I will do here, date summary, and you see filters a table to the subset of rows. Update summary, count, and it's asking, you see, it is expecting some value. I'll just run as it is, just observe. See, end of the query is not proper. So what should I do here? See, like SQL, we have a statement, right? Like a SQL, we have a statement. Now we need to go ahead and write different statements here. Different statements we have to write. So what I will do, just observe. App request where result code equal to 200. What is this? App request result code 200 means wherever there is a 200 OK request, wherever you have a 200 OK request for the application, print those for me. Print those for me. You're getting right? Okay, for example, I'll just say, how do you count the rows? See here, 0 rows, right? Now what I will do security event. And then count. See, it has 2847 rows. It will count the number of rows of security event. Okay. Now let's write one more query. I want to filter the Azure activity. Azure activity where I want to know the time from. I want the time generated. Azure activity where time generated is greater than this time. That means I want to know all the logs between what is today's date? 13th August.
13.
So what I will do 12th 08 2022 and time generated is less than date time of 13/08/2022. Where I can maintain level equals to critical. Now I want to know all Azure activity in between these times where the level that got generated is critical. But at this moment, do we have that table? I only have heartbeat table. I have a protection status label. I have a security event label. I have update summary label. Only this data is there. I don't have much data. Only this much data is there. For this much data, I need to accordingly write a query. Now you can even filter a specific column. You can even filter a specific column for your Azure activity, where project is time generated, level, operational value. You can only take certain rows, certain things. You can order them. Very, very similar to your what do you call your SQL queries. You can go ahead and write queries. For example, I will run one security event. See, I'm asking my security event table to summarize me all the counts. That means I want the events to be counted based on the computer and the level. Based on the computer and the level. For example, if you look at desktop K2F6A QEB, level 8 logs, 713 logs are generated. For example, Nishant PC, level 8 logs, 457 logs are generated. Nishant PC, level 4 logs, 200 logs generated on an average. Nishant PC, level 16 logs are 1000. Domain sys1, level 8 logs, 261 logs are generated. Now this is called aggregation. Aggregation or group of rows and systems. Like this, we can go ahead and even render some metrics and charts. Now at this moment, we are not doing regular monitoring, correct? We are doing security monitoring. What is important for security? We will learn that only. Whatever is important for security, we will learn that. Are you with me?
Yes.
Now, because we have a heartbeat, right? I'll just go ahead and print heartbeat based queries. Just observe, then we can think. So if you look at this, wherever it is a computer IP, just observe that. Now, if you go to the heartbeat, see here. No. Let's run this and then I will show. So just let's digest this query so that it is easy. So I want to run a query which will extract the IP address from the heartbeat record. From the heartbeat record, it's going to extract the IP address. So what I will do, I'll exit this on heartbeat 24 for the last 24 hours. Just run the heartbeat. You will get to know the structure. Time, source, computer IP. Now I want to fetch the computer IP and count it. I want to fetch the computer IP. How will you fetch the computer IP from here? How will you fetch the computer IP from here?
We can come the filter.
Okay. Where will you put the filter?
Down. We can go to the next.
Yeah.
We can
Here.
Yeah. Where computer ID, computer
IP
contains. Yeah, we can give the IP that we are looking for. No, that IP should come in double quote.
Now the logs are only for this IP. Correct? Now I want to print any IP address. All IP addresses list and the number of counts.
Should we remove the IP and put star? Should that?
Just so. Now you see only one instance. Only one instance. Okay. And so now you got the computer IP, right? But only that computer IP. Now what you need is, rather than star, what we can do, not equal to null. If it is not equal to null, it's an IP, right?
In unquote 3 and 4.
Sorry?
We can unquote 3 and 4, so we can just see the output of the first two command.
Yeah, I can do that. So you'll get all IP addresses. And now you can take 5. I want 5 IP addresses to be printed. 5 rows. Now, rather than this way, what I will do, I will extract project computer IP. I'll get all computer IPs. Then take 1. Now you have only 1. I'll just say 5. Now I need to print uniques. See here, it is not unique. I want to print uniques. Then you need to use a different query. Then you want to print. This is very similar to your SQL, but in a different language we are writing called as Custos language. Is empty. There are functions also like is empty, is not empty, contains. Yeah, if you want to filter an activity, let's take a simple activity. Now you see here we are filtering an activity called as key file operation. Activity ID is 5058 key file operation. Now, how did we get this? See, I want to print one row. I want to print one row and the project is activity. I want the activity column. Extend it, replaced equals to replace of. Wherever you see activity ID and then some data. Activity ID and some data. And then the activity itself. So that means what did we do? We created aliases. You know aliases, no? You know aliases? For example, do I explain it? Okay, let's do this. I'll open an Excel. Now tell me, after discount, right? There is something called after discount price. When you write a SQL query, how will you write? Select price from the table. Correct? Or select price as discounted price. And then you do the calculation, right? In the SQL query. Similarly, what you are doing, you are saying, hey, I want to print the activity. Okay, that activity, I want to extend it. That means I want another row. It's like a new alias, new table or a new column. In that new column, replaced it. That is the column name. And then replace the value. Whatever you are extracting, /d plus is a regular expression which only prints number. So you're taking that number. From this, you're taking the number and then you're printing it as activity ID and /1. /1 is the first parameter. That is 5058 and the activity name. What is the activity name? Key file operations. You are understanding it? It is just an alias. Okay. Let's go ahead and see another one. I want to print all the heartbeats. I want to print all the heartbeats that happened over the last 2 minutes. I want to print all the heartbeats that happened over the last 2 minutes. Current time minus 2 minutes. Current time is now. From now, for the last 2 minutes means now minus 2 minutes is last 2 minutes you will get. What is now? Now is the current time. Now is the current time. Are you guys with me?
Yes, Nishant, please go ahead.
Yeah, or I can go ahead and use ego. Heartbeat where time generated is ego 2 minutes. That means for the last 2 minutes, all the heartbeats I want to print. All the security events happened in the last 2 minutes. From different users. I want to print all the events in the last 30 minutes, which are error. I want to print all the events that are error level in the last 30 minutes. At this moment, do I have event? No. In my logs, I don't have event, but I have a demo log, which have events. No, it doesn't have an event. You see, here I have a demo log, which is having Active Directory health checks, Azure monitoring for VMs, Azure resources, change tracking, container insights, log management, network performance management, security and audit, SQL advanced threat protection, vulnerability assessment, custom logs. I think this data set has a lot more data. This is my original set we just configured. This is the machines that I have configured. This is the demo data that we have. Are you getting me? Now, like this, all the important queries that you need, For example, I want to print all the cryptographic events and print 10. Do I have any cryptographic events? You see, I have some cryptographic events. So what is the event? Tell me. Let's see. What is the event itself, which has cryptography in it? So some activity happened called as cryptographic operation. What is that operation? Can anyone tell me, looking at this, what operation is done?
Yeah, Ops Manager is the application that it is taken, and you can you come? Can you just expand anyone?
But source system is also Ops Manager. But do I have Ops Manager in that PC? And I have both of them have Ops Manager. Huh?
Yeah, the application which is running on those systems would be, see, the table is which it is taking from is Ops Manager, and if we go further, the event ID is
No, the
50.
table is security event table.
Okay.
See here from the security event table, you have so much of columns. So what we are searching is, so you need to look at event data. If you look at event data, just observe this desktop, which is a work group, which is not a part of the domain. Okay, Microsoft software key storage provider. Microsoft software key storage provider was used. What is Microsoft software key storage provider? Okay, whenever you access a website, no, keys get exchanged. Private keys and public keys get exchanged, no, when you visit a website due to digital certificate.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, Nishan.
Yeah, now that certificates are stored right somewhere in our computer. They are keys. Private keys and public keys are stored. That is what it is telling. Microsoft software key storage provider means some events happened where that events has triggered a storage of keys. So somewhere the keys are stored. Now, is that original keys or the fake keys that we need to digest? We need to deep dive into it. You got me, no? Now I can go ahead and filter all the security events with level 8. And I want to filter all the security events with level 8 and event ID. Now, let me ask you this question. For example, you have one PC. You have one PC. And when you go to event viewer, do you have this comfort of running a query? If you take a Windows PC and do log analysis, do you have the flexibility of running it via query? No. You can only filter it with event ID. Have you ever done it on an event manager?
Yeah.
Yes,
So
Nishant.
now what we are doing it.
It won't be flexible enough, like we can run a query. It is standard filter options that we can filter it.
Now, what happens if I have 15 machines and if I have to do regular log analysis for 15 machines, Windows 15 Windows machines with events getting generated? It will be difficult, no? That is where your SIM is coming into the picture, right? So now, you know Splunk. How many of you know Splunk? What is Splunk?
It's a SIM tool.
Okay. What is the purpose of SIM tool?
Yeah, just log aggregation and
log aggregation, correlation, and analysis, right? Now, on what basis aggregation and correlation will happen? Based on the use cases that you write, correct?
Yeah.
What is a use case? What do you mean by use case? Use case is a parser. Correct?
Yeah.
Are you guys understanding what I'm telling? A parser or a use case is same. People say use case, use case. Use case is just a query. Use case is just a query. Okay. Now, I want top 10. I want top 10 based on the time that got generated, computer, and the activity. An account was successfully logged in. Special privileges assigned to a new login. Let's digest that. Time generated is this. Computer is this. Activity is special privileges assigned to the new logon. Now 4672 is the activity I want to filter. 4672 is the activity I want to filter. And what is the level? And this is the computer ID, and this is the activity, and this is the time generated. Now I can go fetch exactly that log by running a query. By running a query.
Nishant, one doubt here that
I can even print even. Sorry.
That 4672 is provided by the log of the
Windows. Actually,
Windows?
every Windows log ID, every Windows event has an event ID. For every type of event, there is an event ID. For example, if you see 4688 means a new process is created. 4673 means a privileged service was called. 8002 means a process was allowed to run. Like this, for every event that gets generated in Windows, there is an ID. So looking at the event, you will be able to tell that this is the event that happened. That's a Windows specific.
Oh,
if you
so
go for
Azure
Linux, you will not see. Yeah.
Okay, so Azure
understands them.
These event IDs are also for Mac or maybe Linux as well. Is it like that?
No, Mac doesn't. I don't know about Mac because I'm not good at Mac.
I mean, from endpoint protection point of view. So
Yeah.
when we have integrated all of them, Azure will be able to understand these event IDs and accordingly print it for us in this table.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the problem is, see, Windows events are treated differently and Linux events are treated differently. Linux events doesn't have event IDs.
Yes.
Macintosh, I'm not sure. Because I think Macintosh also doesn't have it. It's a Unix-based machine, no? So that doesn't have event IDs. So this is only, this event details is a parser that is only available. Event details only works for Windows.
Okay. Okay, Anshan.
Let's do some. Okay, for example, strong sessions. No, strong events are not there. Let events be run. Okay, events are not there. This type of event. Now, similar to your inner join, external joins and all, there are joins here also. Okay, anyway, some important logs I have already curated it for you so that you can pull from directly there. Okay, I'll just go ahead and run few of them which are important for us. First thing is, I'll go step by step just to give you analysis. Now you know where to run all the logs and all. Now, first thing, Nishant, we also want to experiment. How do we experiment it? Tell me. If you want to experiment, how will you experiment all this? Now you have to onboard your systems. Are you guys with me? You have to onboard your systems, no? Now that means you have to do the lab that I have done. Are you getting me? You have to do the same lab that you have done. So let me ask a very simple question. What is the role of a security analyst? What is the role of a security analyst? Configuring systems or doing security analysis?
Security analysis.
What is the difference between configuration of a system and security analysis?
System administrator also can do that configuration of systems, but security point of view, only security analyst should be able to answer it.
So typically, a security analyst responsibility is to analyze the events that are configured by someone else. Correct? Guys, you need to be active. Huh? Otherwise, I will also not get interest to teach. You have to be active. No? When you are active, when you're asking questions, if you feel that, no, Nishant, we are unable to understand, we don't understand what you're teaching, just let me know. So accordingly, I'll say, okay, boss, this is not working out. We will try a different method of teaching. I'll implement that. But if you don't tell me, no, I will not understand. So if you say that, Nishant, I'm not understanding anything that you're teaching, that is also fine. So that I know I need to readjust things.
Nishant, we are good, Nishant.
Nishant, I'm just curious, this Cousteau's query and all, how much we have to be more acquainted with, because this is very new for me. Or if you ask me SQL query and all, I have never worked on it. I'm not into a database. I'm not a database guy, and this Cousteau's is something which I'm looking at for the first time. So I'm just curious, being or from the security engineer point of view, should we be working on this Cousteau's on a daily basis?
Okay, very good question. Now let's ask from a security operations point of view. In a regular security operations, what do you do? What do you mean by security operations in an organization?
Looking into logs, probably provisioning, deprovisioning, a lot of operational factors, which basically depends on which team you are into. If you are into IAM, the most factoring is access provisioning, deprovisioning, and all. If you are into a SOC team, you will be looking into logs.
Let's assume SOC only. Our interest is SOC.
Here you will look into those events, and those events you will try to analyze if it is a true positive or false positive, and basis that you will try to.
That means your responsibility is to do log analysis, correct?
Yeah.
Now, if your responsibility is to do log analysis, how will you do log analysis? That means you should know how to filter each and every log. Okay, any one of you have worked in a SOC, Security Operations Center? Anyone? Have you worked in SOC? Okay, are you interested to work in SOC? Okay, let's assume, what is your opinion on SOC? Let's go in a different way. What is your opinion on a SOC? Okay, in cybersecurity, which is the most important domain that you think? Vulnerability assessment, penetration testing is the most jazzy thing to do? Or do you like to do that? You had to speak, guys. You're not responding anything.
No. See, it's all about muting and muting, right? So it takes a while just to move on.
Yeah, but okay, fine, no problem. I'll wait for a minute also if you're answering it.
See, if you ask me, the vulnerability penetration testing equally has its own essence of interest, and basically SOC do interest me and penetration do interest me. But if you ask me personally, it's always curiosity, what basically vulnerability happens, and this is one vulnerability, how we are going to engage the business team to get those vulnerabilities remediated, or that matters.
Good. That's absolutely good. Good. Now you have expressed your interest, Pawan. Like that, I want other people to also express their interest. I will know whether what area you guys are coming from. Otherwise, I'll always talk from a SOC point of view at this moment. The reason I am talking from a SOC point of view is this is the most toughest thing. And this is where the we all talk about incident management, incident process, and nothing works out here.
Absolutely.
You guys are getting me. And this is the most painful job in a organization. Maintaining a SOC is the most painful job because half of the engineers don't even know how to write a query. And you are the SOC manager. And you always give bullshit reports to your senior management. So, sorry to tell you, but this is the reality. If you have worked in SOC, you will know.
That's
Half of the
100%
time, 3 engineers.
Huh? That 100% accurate. It happens most of the time.
Your senior management will ask you, give a report. And you know what you will give a report? Okay, 25 IPs blocked from 6 countries. That kind of reports you give. Okay, 600 events generated this on this average log rate is 600 events. No, those are not the right queries. They are not the right KPIs. And the moment you ask threat hunting, half of them will just say, okay, boss, threat hunting, we don't know. Threat hunting happens when you have insights. When I say insight means you should have access to each and every system log. Then the threat hunting works. Okay, you all heard about this threat hunting keyword, no? Jazzy keyword. Oh, so cool. If you say I'm a Linux system admin, it's not cool. But if you say I'm a threat hunter, people will look at like, oh my God, this guy is a threat hunter. What does this guy do? This guy will run queries. Because he will not see it's like this. If he has to run a query in a haystack, like for example, is it easy to find a needle in a haystack? Difficult. Or until and unless you put a big magnet, automatically, the more powerful the magnet is, automatically the needle will come out. No need to search. Correct? If the magnet is powerful, automatically it will pull the needle out, no? I don't need to search in the stack. That magnet is your query. The better the query is, the better the analysis you will get. And half of the SOC, trust me, the best of the best SOCs, they have difficulty in writing the right queries. And they have difficulty in capturing the logs also. Capturing the logs is one important activity. And then querying the logs and getting the right values is also important. Okay. I hope you guys understood the background.
Yes, Nishant, got it.
Yeah. Now,
when you mention about use cases and all, I could probably relate back to where I'm coming from. Because we work closely with SOC in terms of getting some SOC report. And there they will help us with the use cases. And the way you demonstrated here, the use cases are nothing but the queries.
Queries.
Yeah,
That's it.
That we could probably relate back. Yeah.
You know what? Many people think that, oh, writing a use case is difficult. Have you seen? Oh, in many interviews, when you go in SOC, they will ask you, do you know how to write a use case? What is use case?
So ideally it is like Nishant. So when we are a security analyst, either you are from a SOC or service integration, you should be knowing both. Like if I want to configure something on security, I should know like, okay, if I have to configure this, whether it is required or not, because even if you move a cursor on the system, it will also generate an event. So that is where the parsing comes in, and that's how you know, like, okay, what I should configure for to have the system monitored environment. So it is both, like you need to have the configuration knowledge as well as what has to be monitored and what has to be seen.
Correct.
And for threat hunting.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You are correct. Now, where we are coming, where this class is coming from is assuming that the system administrators has configured it. Assuming that the system administrator have already configured things. Now, after configuring the system, now we need to do analysis.
True, that's true.
Now, many people tell that we need to write use cases. Now, what is that we need to write use case? Very simple. We need to write use case means writing a very simple log, writing a very simple query. Query is called as use case. For example, if I just look at this, I'm giving you Splunk use case. This is a use case. This is called as use case. What is a use case? For example, I want to know all the Windows audit logs that are tampered. I want to check for any tampering that is done to the Windows audit logs. This is a use case. Now, how will you write this use case? Okay, as a security analyst, I'm asking you.
So this is where our KQL comes into picture. So if I have
Excellent.
to monitor event ID 4691 or any of the other event IDs, okay, so this tool has the KQL language. How I will frame a query is the main thing.
Correct. Correct. Now, let us ask this question. I want to know, I will ask this question. As a manager, I'm asking this question to the security team. I want to know all the file uploads that happen to our servers, which is more than 350 MB. I want to know all the file uploads that happened to on our servers, where the size of the file was more than 350 MB. Can you write a query? Or this is my query to security engineering team. You are a part of security engineering team. I want your responses. How will you solve this problem? What you need? How will you solve the problem? What you need? How you will configure it? What challenges you are going to face? You need to talk. You guys have to talk all this now. Each of you can talk one on one, or you want to talk on everything, you can talk, no problem.
Nishant, as part of monitoring, the network devices would be configured in it. So I would look for the outgoing traffic to the external internet, and would keep a threshold limit, like anything which is exceeding exam 500 MB, then keep alerting me.
Okay. Now, which device will do that?
That
in a net, in any corporate network, which device is capable of capturing that information?
Yeah, coming to that, Nishan. So if we are having a local proxy system that is typical on-prem, this one, then the local proxy servers or the network devices, the firewall which is integrated as a proxy would be there. But current trend, I would go
Firewall
with
will never
Zscaler.
be. Yeah, continue, please.
With Zscaler and the force point or the cloud proxy, which is currently will be able to give me that data, how much uploads are happening and how much downloads are happening on that data.
That means you have to put a forward proxy or a reverse proxy in front of your application, and the traffic should go through this proxy. Then only you will know whether a file size is exceeded 350 MB or not. Correct?
Yes.
Is my understanding correct?
Excellent.
Excellent.
I would how I would do is, one is, if currently the Zscaler proxies are very good at the cloud proxies are very good at highlighting the dashboards with if we set the threshold limit like 350 or 500 or 1 GB. And moreover, how do we monitor is the IP is a malicious IP or certain things? Yeah, we can do it through our SOC tool, like take a, if any malicious IPs from the database is found, or any public like Dropbox or something which is uploading is happening more than the threshold limit, make that as an alert and
Good.
inform this.
Excellent. Excellent, Muthu. Now, for example, take one choice of your device. For example, I think you're comfortable with Zscaler. Let's say you have a Zscaler in your organization. Okay. Now let us assume, is it a fresh implementation or existing implementation is upgraded? Let's ask these questions. See, these are all real world challenges. You may be thinking, why Nishant is asking all these questions, silly questions. But these are the real world challenges that none of you will understand. Or if you are coming from that background, I'm sure you will understand. Now let us assume, think you have upgraded 15 applications to that. Now you have 20 more applications. You may be running a legacy infrastructure, like maybe you had a Cisco firewall. You will not upgrade all your infrastructure in one day, no? It take years. for you to upgrade your infrastructure to the latest one and do the configuration. Now tell me, Zscaler has a different method of querying the logs, correct? Then
Yes.
you have a Cisco proxy. You have a Cisco proxy, which has a different method of querying the logs. Then you have a Palo Alto proxy, which has a different method of querying the logs. That means I need an engineer who can actually query in 3 different languages. Okay, for example, why do I need a SIM first of all? When my engineer can go to each machine and then do the log analysis. My engineer can log into each system and do the log analysis, no? Why should I need a SIM?
That's where Nishant. Sorry. Go ahead, Niranjan. Sorry.
No worries. So SIM is like simplified and unified tool. No, so what happens is, see, you have a network admin, server admin, and a system admin. But if we have integrated SIM, it makes life simpler and easier, and you get all the required add-ons to do the monitoring. And when the queries, such as when it comes to like if there is any file changes or anything where we need to go and check in our infra where there is a change or how there was a huge traffic on all. SIM is the easiest way.
Well explained.
Now, how we will see a service now to see which team has which ticket and who is working on one. So SIM is the same way, which tool or device is doing the things.
Excellent. But the problem is, Niranjan, Windows structure is different, Linux log structure is different, IAS log structure is different, Macintosh log structure is different. If it is Samba server structure is different, SMTP structure is different. Isn't it a problem for me? When each log is in a different structure, how will you have a unified method?
By parsing.
That means you will read each and every log and parse it to a common format. And on that common format, you run a query, correct?
Correct.
Excellent. Now, for me, when I have to tell whether an attack happened or not, on how many systems I need to look at? 4 or 5 different systems, right? Now, looking at 4 or 5 different systems, logs in 4 different formats is difficult. Rather, I will ask my SIEM tool to break down that into common format and then run query on top of it. That is your use case. This is called as Security Operations Center use cases. And this is one use case. Now, this is for Splunk. Whatever I have shown you is for Splunk. And whatever I'm showing you is a use case for Azure. The structure of this Splunk will be different. The structure of this is different. Here, the query called as Splunk query language. Here it is called as Custos query language.
True. It's true.
Now, what is this language called as? Splunk Search Processing Language. It's called as SPL, Search Processing Language. In Splunk, it is called as Splunk Search Processing Language, okay? In Azure, it is called as
TQL.
Like this, logarithm, QRadar, everyone will have their own language. But problem is, in our organizations, we have multi-cloud now, correct? We have multi-cloud and we have multi-data center, and each data center different query of logs. Isn't it be difficult for me to write parsers for each of them? What Azure tells is, guys, don't worry. We already have written all parsers for almost all query languages. You just need to integrate our tool into your environment. We will take care of parsing for almost all the vendors. But the only problem is, if you want to search logs in our environment, then you need to use our Custos query language to fetch the details. Now, here you see time offset is 1 hour. So I am declaring a variable. You can declare a variables like a programming language. You can declare a variable. See, I'm declaring a variable called as time offset, which is 1 hour. And I'm declaring another variable called as discard event ID 4688. And I'm telling that, hey, filter a security event, filter from the security event database where the time generated is ago 2 hours. That means for the last 2 hours, I want all the logs. For the last 2 hours, I want all the logs except 4688. Except 4688, I want all the logs that are filtered, that are generated in the last 2 hours. Copy this and run it here. See, time range is set in the query. Automatically, it will identify that the query is already. Now you see all the security event logs that are generated in the last 2 hours and 4688 event ID is discarded from it. Make sense? Guys, are you with me? This is one use case. So typically in a real world, use cases will not be this small. It will be like 40, 50 lines. A query in real world, the query will look like 40, 50 lines of query will be there. But we are very starting now here. So we are going step by step. I will show you another query. Just observe this and then we will talk on top of it. Okay, what I will do just to make you comfort. First, I will put it here. I will format the query. And then I'll copy it. The formatting has gone when I copy paste. I have reformatted it. And now you can see. Just observe so it will be clear for you. So what you understood in this, tell me. Break it into pieces, huh? Break the log into pieces so it will be easy. As a security analyst, if you are in any environment, trust me, if you are in damn any environment, you cannot ignore Kusto's query language. You be in any environment, you cannot ignore Kusto's query language. Yeah.
Nishant, just tell me my interpretation is correct or not. We are creating a variable called suspicious account, and the data table is account, where it looks for a particular table called string. In that, anything that is administrator or NT account authority, this is the variable. So coming below, if any within 1 hour of time, if the account, if these two accounts are used, list out the events of this particular that is slash administrator or NT authority system, list down that.
Correct. So we are creating
So
a
here the
dynamic
variable
table.
Yeah.
Correct. Continue.
Yeah, the variable plays here a lot. So we can just change the variable, how many accounts we need to add or remove, but the below KQL script will remain same.
Now let's go ahead and run this. Now you look at, it will only filter for system accounts and administrator accounts. Do you see? It will only filter for system accounts and administrator accounts. That too for more than 1 hour. Above 1 hour, whatever happened, it will only filter for that. Why we need to filter only administrator account details? Tell me. If any hacker gets access to any machine, he will always try to elevate his privileges to admin, right? So that's why we are monitoring all the administrative access. One second. Hope it is clear for everyone. Now let's go ahead and write one more query. Let's digest each query a little more, and then it will be easy. Just try out this. Or I'll format it. I'll format it. 1 second. Yeah. Just observe this. So we are declaring a variable called as low activity accounts. And what are we doing? We are actually writing a query. We are writing a query, and the query result is stored in one variable. For example, security event. Summarize the count by account ID where count is less than 100. This is a query. This itself is a query. For example, you may not have data here because we don't have SQL injection data. But if you look at my demo data that I have, run this. What is it doing? This is counting the accounts, and their occurrences, Now, out of this, there are so many occurrences, right? Some are 846 occurrences, 796 occurrences, 451 occurrences, 46 occurrences. Now what I want to do is I want to sort, and I want to only filter SQL based accounts. In this. In this list, I want to filter SQL. So what I will do, I'll take the output of this. That is table. So what we are doing, we are taking this out. If you look at, we are taking this out. Okay. And we are putting it here. So whatever this table is there, this table I am assigning it to low activity accounts. It's a variable. It's another variable. That variable, you're assigning the table. So whatever the output of this query is there, that is assigned to a table. In that table, you are searching where the account contains SQL. That means you are filtering SQL from this. So if I run the entire query, it's one query where SQL accounts are occurred. Are you getting me? No, whatever we have given is by default last 24 hours. You can make it last 48 hours, last 3 days also. The count may change. Last 30 minutes. The count will change. Yeah. You can search for some errors. Blindly it will filter all errors wherever it saw error keyword. Now you want to search for errors in security events and security alerts. Search in the security events database and security alert database, or any database that starts with A and star. What is A star? A star means Active Directory health checks, Azure Monitor for VMs, and Azure resources. And I am searching for error events. Now, if you look at, it will display 3 different tables wherever it is generated. Now you see security table is security event. In the security event table, it was able to find an error only in these 3. But if you have searched in the last time, look at the table. In the database. Look at, it is looking at image metrics. So always the output was from the insight metrics. And only one output is there, no, in security event. Did you see one output in the event? Total 255 to 241. See, only one security event. Now, if I want to only filter that security event, I will write a query. Because we know that in the security event, there is only one log that got generated, and that one log only we are printing now. Clear? Now, this is in the last 30 minutes. If I do last 24 hours and run it, you will see more logs. OK. Are you guys with me?
Nishant, these are the outputs which we are getting when we run the query, right?
Query, correct.
So can we have our own page kind of dashboard where we can get these queries run maybe at frequent interval of time, and we can have a look at if there are any alarms to be looked into, any standard set of queries which can be placed on the page?
Yeah, that queries, that's what I have curated all the queries which are very common, and I have put it here in my documentation. If you see here, no, these are the very commonly used queries in your day-to-day life.
And all these are for endpoints, is it? Like the devices which are on-prem or
not only
whatever,
endpoints, for everything, for security analytics, for log management, for event management, Azure. For almost, it's a combined one. We are not only looking for endpoint, because ultimately when you go for cloud security, right, you are looking from all point of view. Now, so there are 2 windows. You see security log analytics demo. Who created this? I created it, no? In the morning class, we have created this, no?
Yes.
But now, Nishant, how do we get this access? You will not get this access because it is in my system. And now you need to filter. Now you need to build the entire system for practicing. Just for practicing the Custos query language, I don't want you to rebuild everything. Rather, what I will do, I'll give you some links. If you click on that link, automatically the data gets populated, and then you can run all your queries and practice it. Okay, that thing we will do it after the lunch break. The moment you come back from the lunch break, what will you do? I'll give you some hints. You will follow that procedure and then you will practice all this. I'll give you some time. You need to run each and every query. You need to write each and every query, digest each and every data. And then once you are done with this lab, we will end this session for today. By the time you understand all of this, it will take time. Okay. Are you with me?
Yes.
Any questions? Again, don't worry that you have to learn everything in day one. This will not happen. It takes time. It takes time to understand each and every. You cannot learn SQL in one day. Yeah. Can you learn SQL in one day? You cannot. So don't worry. It takes time. Today we will spend enough time to understand each and every query. Because if you don't understand this query, you cannot work with Azure Sentinel, or you cannot work with Azure itself. Because now the entire Azure is moving towards this. So it will expect you to know all of this. Okay. Okay, guys. Yeah, I'll see you in the after the break. We'll take 1 hour break and come back. Any questions? We go for a break. Before we go for a break, sorry.
No, Nishan.
Okay, I'll see you then.